All right, so this is a video I made a long time ago and people seem to ask me a lot, but my top 5 business mistakes. You think you guys would want to know about like the secrets to success, but the mistakes are just as dangerous. All right, my number 1 mistake, it's always the same. It's other people. Other people can so good. And hold on, I'm driving here, so bear with me. 5 miles south. Thanks. All right, so the number 1 business mistake on my list is other people. As you know, you've probably been in some relationships, either with friends or other people, but you never know what other people are gonna do. And for me personally, when you partner with other people, you're responsible for their decision making, you're responsible for them getting arrested. Any kind of way they're tied to you, it can somehow f up your relationship. I always say this, you're like 2 minutes away from being enemies with people. Like, as much as you think you're boys, as much as you think this is like a forever thing, or like you're in a relationship where like, oh my God, we're in love, you're 2 minutes away from everything going bad. The other thing is, I rarely find people that can match like my work ethic, and I don't want to sound cocky there, but you have to realize that like sometimes what's inside of you is not what's inside somebody else. Sometimes what's inside of somebody else, it's just different. The more people you put in, the more complicated shit gets. So other people, be very, very cautious of other people. They can also do great things for you. So it's like, read that gut. That's something that Dana's driving behind us right now. That's something that Dana's great with. Dana's gut is, hello? Anyway, Dana's great with that, right? Dana's gut reaction to somebody is always right. There's people that I've been like 1,000,000% sure about, and she's been like, I don't trust them. And I'm always like, nah, Day, it's gonna be great. She's always right. So if you have a wife or you have a significant other and they have a feeling, trust their feelings too. All right, so number 2, it's almost the same as number 1, but it's other people's money. Now, when Fly No Fail first started, and this is crazy, right? And I just think back, and this dude was a good dude, but when we first started, there was a guy, so I started with $400. First month, I think I made like $4,000. After that, I don't know. The second month, we probably made like $15,000, but we were putting it all back in. There was a guy that wanted to invest $10,000. You know, the dude was great. But thinking back now, that like he could have entered in for 10 grand to the beginning, like he put his money betting on me, and what that would have been worth now, or what I would have owed that guy, or the relationship I would have had with him for the rest of his life. I like to bet on me, you know? And when you take somebody else's money, they're also betting on you, but you're also like indebted to them. I don't like partners, man. I really, really don't like partners. There's some partnerships out there that do fantastic as long as the dynamic's perfect, but like when you take money, man, you're taking on somebody's partner. They're betting on you. They believe in you. I don't like owning people though. I do not like it. Leverage, right? There's a lot of people out there that like to use other people's money. There's a lot of people out there that like to take loans. There's a lot of people out there will tell you, oh, if you leverage this money and use, or, you know, I always like to use somebody else's money, blah, 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 like all that shit. Using other people's money and then, you know, taking investments, selling ownership of yourself or your company, and then, you know, leveraging assets. A lot of people will tell you that, you know, that's a great way to offset taxes or things like that. Cool, great. But personally, what I like is I like the certainty of knowing that I'm safe. So I work as hard as I can to pay things off. My growth is a little slower per se. Rocket ship, my growth's a little slower. It's not as aggressive as maybe somebody who's leveraging millions of dollars. But for example, the Airbnbs, when COVID hit, which no one saw COVID coming, I was losing something like $20,000 a month, right? I mean, paying out $20,000 a month. I was losing more like $50,000 a month. But the problem is, if I did not have everything paid off, or I didn't have, if all of my other assets weren't, you know, actually paid for, I might have been in a lot of trouble for COVID, but I wasn't. The next recession or the next downturn or whatever it is, I'm ready for it. Granted, my business isn't as large as it could be. It's not as scaled as large, but I'm ready for it. Also, when you're first starting, a lot of people, it's very hip. Like, I don't want to sound cocky, but to me, $50,000, I make $50,000 transactions multiple times a day. So for someone that's starting out, that might be a young kid who has something really promising, for me to run in there and throw in $50,000 isn't really that big of a deal. But you have to realize that if I bet on you with $50,000, essentially you're indebted to me for however long this deal works. So that scares me too, because I know what I'm capable of. So if I take money and have to owe somebody, I don't want to. I don't want to have more relationships. Sort of goes back to lesson 1. So next is whatever you want to call it, right? You can call it, I love to call it resistance. And the way that I like to look at resistance or excuses or anything is it's something to fight against, right? So I always need like an enemy. So you can well, people on the internet, well, whatever, or like a rival business, but I really like to internalize it and fight myself. So once you start identifying things, you realize that resistance is everywhere around you. What is resistance? Resistance is your comfortable bed in the mornings. It's feeling tired. It's feeling like you have to pay more attention to your significant other, or you have to go out. Resistance is, oh, I don't have a business plan. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough experience. I don't have my bachelor's degree. Well, I need an investor. I need a logo. I don't have the right domain. I don't have my EIN number. I didn't start Flag Nor Fail with an EIN number. I operated for a year without it. You know what I did? Is I made a logo. I built a website myself, and I just started. Did it work well? No. It was ugly as but I learned a lot. The problem is, if you wait and you look at all these as things that are like roadblocks are what's going to define you, and it's going to build up that knowledge. The big thing right now is everybody wants to invest, right? And they want to reinvest in their company, so they want to do paid ads. The problem is nobody knows anything about paid ads, so you hook up with these bullshit companies that charge you loads of money and don't give you results because the people that are paying, they don't know what it is. You want to start paid ads? Start fumbling through paid ads so you somewhat understand it. Don't wait for a company. You want to start something? Make your own logo, make it work. You have a phone, take all your own photos. You're gonna learn a lot along the way, and you're gonna make things work. And you're gonna start now. You're gonna up, you're gonna learn, but you're gonna start now. One of my biggest regret of all time is waiting until I was mid-20s. Man. And like, I waited for mid-20s because I thought that there was all these things holding me back. I thought capital was holding me back. I thought that, you know, not having a website, not having a fucking proper business plan, not having all these things. I thought these were magical things that you had to have for the rite of passage to get through, and they're not. You can just start. You can literally make an Instagram account and an Etsy account, and you can start selling tomorrow. You don't even need product. You can just start doing pre-orders, and you can have them Venmo you. Literally, you can start a business in the next 5 minutes and figure out everything later. So number 4 is balance. And I actually had I started doing mentorships, and I had a call with a guy the other day, and he works for the railroad. I shouldn't give out all his information, but he's thinking about starting a business. And his biggest hesitation is, hey man, I have a 9-year-old. You know, I can't take risks because I have a 9-year-old that I have to provide for. So my response was, congrats, bro. You're gonna grow up and your son's gonna watch you be a Take a fucking risk, man. Work through the night, do something, kick out of yourself. And okay, cool, you know what your 9-year-old's gonna see? My dad's a killer. My dad's been through some shit. My dad figures it out, and no matter what, my dad makes it work. Yeah, we lost the house, but my dad's still hustles. Yeah, we had to downsize a car. Yeah, we couldn't go on vacation, but my dad takes risks and makes it work. Or we can do this. Hey, my dad's a safe dude who never takes any risks and never had the perks of having an amazing life. He never saw abundance. He saw mediocre joy. That sounds dope, right? Is that the example you want to set for your kid? No. You want to take risks. My dad, awesome, man. Held it together, did all the right for us. Did I always have new shoes? Did I always have that? No. But my dad played it straight and narrow, and dude, he raised us and he taught me hard work. What he did not teach me was to take risks. So I grew up not seeing anyone take risks. When I finally saw people and started meeting people that take risks, I combined risks and hard work. Bro, you teach your kid risk and hard work. You show him that, like, hey man, like I promise you, 4 hours a night sleep tops. That's all you need. That's all you need. If you get 4 hours, I get 4 hours right now, and I'm an old dude. If you're in your 20s, bro, 3.5 hours, you're gold. Stay the awake, beat the out of yourself for a little bit, the gym, all that shit. Run towards your dream. I promise you'll see results in 6 months. If you don't, look at the other results you see, which is learning a lot of shit. You're learning a lot about yourself, who the is surround you, and who's going to support you. You'll learn a lot. Balance, sleep, all that fruitcake shit. Get rid of it. Let's see what you're of, right? Show some people around you what the you're made of. Add some adversity and respond. You might not even be meant for it, you know? And you can always go back to getting a normal job and living the normal life and sleeping 8 hours a night and working a 9 to 5, and you know, that's worst case scenario. Just go back to that. I don't know, man. I like that. I like that adversity. It's like you feel like you might die. It's cool being backed up against the wall. Business mistake number 5. This one's interesting, right? So there's this weird thing where you're broke and you work your off and then you start to make some money. That's the dangerous part. It's like the most dangerous part. It's you can lose your hunger, right? Because if you're doing this for money, if you have no money and you start a business and you start making $200,000 a year, there is a tendency for people to back off the gas and just really enjoy that. Or, okay, cool, I got my house paid off, I got my car paid off, now I can just float. So losing that hunger, it might sit in, or that comfort, because you're gonna be comfortable, right? Because you spend so much time trying to get there, so much time ripping, so much time not sleeping, so much time missing, that the second you start tasting success, a lot of people either get comfortable or they get really cocky. You might see me as cocky, right? Like I'm doing well, but I'm not doing by my standards well. My friends are kicking the shit out of me. So I might come across as cocky, I might come across as confident or comfortable or successful or all these things, but you better know that I go to sleep every night not happy with where I am. Not that I don't appreciate where I am, but this is not my final destination. I am not there yet. I'm still headed somewhere. And I think that that's what people forget in that little bit of success when you first taste it, is you forget that there's still somewhere to go, and you just get too comfortable. And then you're gonna fall off because the market's gonna pivot, something's gonna change, something's gonna come up, you're gonna get sloppy, and it's all gonna go the way. And you're gonna be like, why me? I was doing so well. And then you'll be that dude for the rest of your life talking about how you used to bench this much. I used to be in shape. Oh, I used to have that car. Ooh, I used to have a house at the beach. But you won't have it. You'll just be telling people about how you used to. You don't want that. That sucks. Anyway, that was my 5 business mistakes. Currently mistakes that, I'm probably making a little bit right now, but you have to keep an eye on yourself at all times, right? You have to have an overall goal, plans, moving forward. But then, dude, just critique the out of yourself all the time. Just that inventory of like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Don't second guess yourself to the point where you're not making moves because you're too scared. But keep an eye on yourself, man, because a lot of these things will sneak up on you. Thank you. Suck my I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. love that closeout. It's so good, right?